We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position.
That this Trump will be better than the man who tore the country apart, of ethical character, has been on display for every minute of his adult life. We know who he is.
Trump just compared Biden to a vegetable. No, seriously, he actually tweeted that. But wait, it gets better. In the same rant, he babbled about forklifts and foreign languages. Stick around to see how a simple parody ad turned the ex-prez into a human word salad. And before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. What is causing Trump's hair to stand on end this time? This isn't your typical Twitter tirade or a botched Fox News segment, people.
Admiring the assets of other men. Meanwhile, President Musk can get down to the business of running the country.
Willing to not accept the false predicates of, well, maybe Trump's better this time. There is no better iteration of Donald Trump. There is no moment of Donald Trump.
Instead, it's a video that has more burns than Trump's perfectly cooked steak. Once again, the Lincoln Project, those annoying Republicans who have turned against Trump, has done it. More explosive than Trump's late-night burger binges is the video they released. It's not your typical political advertisement, I assure you. Trump's most embarrassing moments, the ones that make you question whether we're living in a poorly scripted reality show, are more like a greatest hits album. There are no holds barred in this video. It highlights all of the instances in which Trump was seen swooning over autocrats as if they were the last piece of pizza at a gathering. We're discussing his strange fixation with strongmen, who most likely wouldn't allow him to eat lunch with them, his bromance with Putin, and his love letters to Kim Jong-un.
The man who demands a fictional loyalty test of everyone who wants to work for him. The man whose conspiracy inspired, and his words inspired, a violent assault on the United States Capitol.
But there's still more. The soundtrack to the video is more sinister than Trump's botched spray tan. It's as if they took a look at Darth Vader's music library and decided, nope, not scary enough. The goal of the entire situation is to portray Trump as less presidential than a toddler having a fit in the cereal section. You can practically picture Trump's face growing redder and redder as the video continues. Or in his case, oranger and oranger. It's similar to witnessing a human-sized Cheeto become enraged. They're playing his buttons like they're trying to beat the last boss in a video game, and the Lincoln Project knows exactly how to do it.
As vice president, Trump will finally have the time to do the things that make him happiest. Talk about old movies, playing on his phone.
There aren't hundreds of thousands of us. There are a few thousand of people from the old Republican world willing to speak the truth, limiting the power of the state and fiscal probity and all the things you would think.
The shocking thing is that this video is about more than just mocking Trump's dictatorial crush. It's striking him in the most painful place, his inflated ego. Trump seems to have been shown a mirror and told, hey buddy, this is how the world sees you. Furthermore, that reflection isn't attractive, let's face it. And as everyone knows, Trump isn't exactly renowned for having a thick skin. He is more akin to an orange balloon that is poised to burst with a single pinprick. His response to this video will therefore be more juicier than the ketchup he uses on his steak. You can bet your bottom dollar. People, when he saw this video, Trump reacted more irrationally than a squirrel on a sugar rush. The outburst from our orange friend on Twitter would have made a 2-year-old say, dude, chill out.
We at the Lincoln Project are confident that Donald Trump understands his position.
That this Trump will be better than the man who tore the country apart, of ethical character, has been on display for every minute of his adult life. We know who he is.
As Grumpy Trumpy opened Twitter, his fingers were outpacing his brain cells. It was chaotic, futile, and hilariously entertaining, much like watching a cat attempt to catch a laser pointer. The worst part is that we're not laughing at just any internet troll. This man aspires to be president once more. Bike yucks. What was said by the Mango Mussolini then? Well, he was shouting, "I've been indicted," repeatedly. He seems to have picked up a new word and is unable to stop using it. Perhaps someone ought to inform him that it's not a good thing. But there's still more. Trump asserted that he is 99% right about everything. Yes, and I work as the Tooth Fairy's personal bookkeeper.
We feel certain Trump will play his part. because he's a good boy. Who's a good boy?
And a better perspective and a better persona and a better style of leadership than the man who led a conspiracy. This is the Donald Trump who has been found guilty and convicted of financial fraud.
However, what is the true icing on the cake of this word salad Sunday? The decision to play the vegetable card was made by Trump. President Biden, he said, was like a vegetable. It is a case of the pot calling the kettle pink. What makes Trump, after all, if we're making comparisons to produce? An extremely irate and noisy pumpkin.
Donald Trump has had a terrible, terrible week. Why has it been terrible? It's not going to go away. It doesn't magically get better. It doesn't suddenly, you don't wake up one morning and go, hey, I'm not a criminal anymore, because he's a criminal. While the court did not punish him, his conviction is now affirmed.
As if it couldn't get any stranger, Trump began to babble on about forklifts and visitors from unheard of nations. I'm pretty sure that most countries have been heard of by now, but I'm not sure about you, unless he's referring to Hogwarts or Narnia. The entire situation was more disorderly than a cheating Monopoly game. It's as if someone unintentionally pressed the puree button in Trump's blender-like brain. The outcome, crazy with extra bits of nonsense in a smoothie.
He is a convicted felon and always will be. I wish they would have punished him. I wish they would have fined him. I wish they would have put him in jail for even 5 minutes. No governor of New York is ever going to pardon Donald J. Trump. He is a convicted felon forever.
People, it appears that Trump's outbursts on Twitter are the gift that keeps on giving, at least to late-night comedians. The Lincoln Project gift baskets are likely being sent by people like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel, while the rest of us are baffled as to how this individual ever obtained the nuclear codes.
Was because his own base is starting to realize he's basically full of shit. But he's still a convicted felon, and it's a stain that will not wash out. He's busy jacking off about Greenland and invading Panama and invading Canada and making Canada the 51st state.
After all, who needs writers when you have access to Trump's Twitter account? The problem is that even though we're all laughing at Grumpy Trumpy's most recent outburst, we must keep in mind that this...
And by the way, I'm pretty sure that Mike is in the punishment box for a while now because he shook Trump's hand, a man who tried to have him killed. During the Carter funeral at the National Cathedral this week, absolutely icing Trump down to 1,000,000,000 degrees below zero.
Isn't your average reality TV program. This man aspires to be president once more. We should remember that behind every covfefe and bigly, there is a wannabe dictator having a tantrum because someone dared to criticize him. So keep in mind this the next time you're having a rough day. At least you're not going crazy over a YouTube video like a certain orange turd we know. At least Trump is sustaining the comedy industry. If nothing else, there are bright spots, people.